Now, the ICC has a long history of history, in fact, and great lectures. And we're delighted to welcome our chairman, Peter Power-Hynes.
Thank you.
And Aengus Collins O'Malley, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
And there's a lecture coming up on the 21st of February, Wednesday, 21st February, the Untold Story of Michael Collins and Sam Maguire. We've talked quite a lot on this show about Michael Collins, of course. Tell me a little bit about Sam Maguire, Peter.
Well, Sam Maguire came from West Cork and he worked for the civil service in London in the post office at Mount Pleasant mainly. And he was the leader of the IRB in London. So when Collins arrived in London and was working for the Post Office Savings Bank in Blythe Road, they got involved together. And when Collins tried to join the IRB, Sam Maguire was a bit hesitant. He thought he was a bit too precocious. So he gave him a year to cool his heels and then asked him to write an essay on the power of the Catholic Church in Ireland as a precursor to being admitted. And the IRB used to conduct meetings up in Islington in a hall just opposite the old Islington Town Hall under the pseudonym of the Irish Historical Society. And when Collins went back to Dublin for the 1916 Rising, Sam Maguire kept in touch with him, and he used to make frequent weekly visits to North Wales, to Holyhead, by train, carrying mail he had intercepted at Mount Pleasant. And he would hand it over to an agent of Michael Collins in Holyhead who would take it to Dublin. He did this on a weekly basis. Sam Maguire was sort of given the responsibility by many people for the assassination of Field Marshal Sir Henry Wilson. And as a result of that, Michael Collins took him back to Dublin and got him a job in the civil service.
He also he's been commemorated on the sporting field.
Well, the most iconic trophy in Ireland is the Sam Maguire Cup. And ironically, the trophy is more well known than the story about Sam Maguire himself.
Aengus, you're going to be here giving the lecture. What is the untold story?
Well, the untold story of Mick and Sam was, as people know, Michael Collins spent a third of his life in London. He was greatly influenced by Sam Maguire because Michael Collins lost both his parents by the time he was 16. He was living with his sister Hanny, who was his mother in London. Sam Maguire was viewed by most as his father. He was sworn into the IRB at the second time of asking, as Peter said. He was given a year to cool off, and he did produce that paper. But I think the paper was almost the malign influence of the Catholic Church in Ireland. It was, because Michael Collins and Sam Maguire were... Sam Maguire obviously was a Protestant Church of Ireland, and Michael Collins at that stage, was very secular. And there were two very secular influences, and which Ireland, of course, lost out on. One died in 1922, another died in 1927. But their story is inextricably linked, As I say, Michael coming to London, working the post office civil service with Sam. Sam swears him into the IRB. They stay in contact right through the War of Independence. Sam being the key figure. And then Sam Maguire's involvement in the assassination of Sir Henry Wilson. So while Sam swore Michael into the IRB and looked after him in the post office, Michael Collins moved Sam Maguire back to Dublin and got him a job in Dublin. So it's two very, very famous people. And as everyone says about Sam Maguire, everybody knows the name. Very few know what he's done. And we're going to change that on Wednesday the 21st. Yeah.
Are you related to Michael Collins? You have the same name. Are you related?
Yes.
What way? Or?
Oh, sorry, yeah. My great-grandmother was Mary Collins Pole, was his sister.
Ah.
Yeah, so my grandfather was his nephew,
right.
Chief of Staff Sean Collins Pole. But in terms of how the relation goes is... When Michael Collins was in London, he lived with Hanny Collins. Hanny Collins, in her last few years of life, lived with my mother. So that's how close my mother is to the connection.
Angus, just remind us, what was the significance of the assassination of Henry Wilson?
It was hugely significant because the assassination of Sir Henry Wilson led to the downfall of Michael Collins and led to the downfall of, Sam Maguire. Some people say it was Sir Henry Wilson which started the Civil War. Certainly started the first battle of the Civil War, because the first casualty of the Civil War was actually in March 1922. So some would say that Sir Henry Wilson was the start of the Civil War, which led to all the problems of the Civil War and all the deaths. Yeah, because without the assassination of Sir Henry Wilson, would the Civil War have happened? Possibly not.
And where did that take place?
Assassinate just around the corner.
Eaton Square.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Square.
around the corner from the Irish Embassy.
He'd been unveiling a World War I plaque at Liverpool Street Station. He was in full uniform. He was just putting the key in his door at Eaton Square when the two assassins approached him.
Yeah.
And am I right in thinking in Peaky Blinders, Cillian Murphy more or less kills Henry Wilson?
Why if Michael Collins after that burned on and got a McGig or how come he ended up in poverty in Cork? Why did he get forgotten about? Why did he die so broken man?
Very good point. Okay, now Sam Maguire came back to Dublin 1922 because when he was in England they suspected him, so they stopped his pension, and he was able to move him across to Dublin. He got a bit disillusioned with how the new Irish state 1922 was going, and he was blamed in 1924 for the army mutiny. So his pension had been stopped from England. He got sacked from the Irish government in 1924. So he was relying on the generosity of others. And there was a famous speech, I think, done by the leader of the Labour Party at the time in Ireland and in the Dáil, because Fianna Fáil weren't taking their seats at that time. And obviously, Sinn Féin, not Fianna Fáil, because 1925. So the ruling party didn't stand up for him because they blamed him for the Curran mutiny. De Valera's party didn't stand up for him because they thought it was pro-treaty. So the leader of the Labour Party said, Sam Maguire is homeless tonight in Dublin. Can someone do something for him? And he died of TB, which is a family trait, actually, because two of his brothers died of TB before. And he was buried, I think, in an unmarked grave in West Cork. A very sad, lonely death. And it was his friends who in the late 1920s got together and said, given everything he's done, let's get something named after him.
And that was the cup.
And that was the cup, yeah. So and it was appropriate because Sam Maguire was a GAA man as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Angus. Peter, you're hosting a history roundtable. It's going to be a regular feature here at the ICC.
We're hoping it's going to become a regular feature. We had a slot on the 27th, so we decided to do this as an experiment. So it'll give people who want to attend an opportunity to talk for 10 minutes on any particular subject they want to talk about, and we'll hand the microphone round the table and try and do a Q&A at the end of it, just see how it goes, and if it's popular enough, we'll continue it on a monthly or bi-monthly basis. You can sign up online, the tickets are free, and if you're not on the mailing list already, I recommend you get on our mailing list, because we send a mail shot every Friday, which gives people a complete update, and of course you can listen into the Bright Side of the Road on Portobello Radio every month. And is it going out tonight or tomorrow?
Tonight, going out live.
Going out on Burns Night, indeed.
Is that 7 p.m. tonight?
Yeah.
And then the recording going out
Sunday.
Midday on Sunday.
Midday Sunday, and then on Mixcloud.
And then transfers to Mixcloud, So all the previous programs are on Mixcloud.
All there, Ardor Hanlon, everything, they're all there. Just you go Irish Culture Centre, Mixcloud, and they're all lined up. 1 to 12.
One after the other.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
We look forward to some of the stories that are going to come
And
forth.
when is your gig on?
It's on Wednesday the 21st.
Is it sold out? It's
There's
so,
a few,
it's not. It's
few
not
tickets
so.
left.
There's a few things.
There's a few tickets left.
And of course, we may
it's
yet
not
come
so-
to
yes.
a conclusion on the age-old story of who killed Michael Collins.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Well,
That one's going to run forever.
Well, we have some interesting new information on that,
Yes.
which has
yeah.
never previously been published.
Okay.
Another untold story.
Okay.
Indeed.
Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thanks.
So close.